And welcome everybody to the Pole Day press conference. We just completed Pit Lane Parley first day qualifications here at the Open Wheels 500-mile race in 2020. What a day it was. Oh my goodness. We set a new track record multiple times, both the 4 and 1 lap track records here at the Open Wheels 500. We set a preliminary field of 33. 63 drivers right now sitting on official times. Only 33 can make the show, and we still have 12 hours of qualifications to go tomorrow. What an incredible day. Thanks to everybody that joined us here on Open Wheels TV, as well as on Race Spot TV's final hour broadcast at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We saw all kinds of things, and we're going to have some of the folks around that we're going to talk to some of the people that really made it happen out there today, and let's see who we can grab first. Well, it could be the pole winner for this year's Open Wheels 500, or it could be last year's inaugural race winner at the Open Wheels 500. Well, thankfully for us, that's the same guy. As we move him in here right now,
19.
We've got Michele Costantini, driver of the number 66 machine for Apex Racing Team with I5G and Broken Arrow. Michele, the pole sitter for the 2020 Open Wheels 500-mile race. What a run today, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tanner. It was a pretty good run. Not perfect, but still definitely had time in it. But yeah, that was good enough, so I'm happy with it.
Michele, we've really been thankful to have you as our inaugural champion of the race in 2019. You've done a great job representing the Open Wheels 500 as a race winner. But now to add the pole award to your mantle, so to speak, what does that do not only for you as a sim racer, but particularly within this event this year? What does that do for your confidence heading into next Sunday?
Well, it's obviously great to start up front, not only because it's easier to get track position in the race early on Sunday, but it's also obviously a nice confidence boost, as you said, because we probably have the fastest car. We definitely have the fastest car in qualifying, and we probably have one of the fastest cars in the race as well. So we will see on Sunday, but that's definitely a nice confidence boost. And looking forward to Sunday.
Talking right now to Michele Costantini, your Pit Lane Parley Pole Award winner here at the 2020 Open Wheels 500-mile race. Well, today, Michele, by the time you set the new 4-lap track record, it was the 5th time that it's been broken today since Young O's record was set last year. Your 4-lap run was at 231.392 miles per hour. Kind of talk us through the run that you made today, which eventually put you on the pole and set the new track record.
So I would say lap 1 and 2 were not the best in terms of lap time. Lap 1 could definitely have been better. Lap 2 was maybe 100 off. Lap 3 was pretty good, I would say, and lap 4 was another 100, maybe 200 off. So overall, quite happy with that. But as I said, still time on the table, which I'm happy about, because getting pole while still having time on the table is it's quite a good thing, I think, because it means we obviously could have gone a little faster, which is another nice confidence boost. And that was a decent run through today, so quite happy with it.
Michele, currently on screen in the press conference live stream, we're showing some highlights from your 2019 win. What do you have to do to make sure you come back and end up in the winner's circle next Sunday? You got the best seat in the house for the start, but how do you stay up there? So
I'm thinking it's going to be probably a similar race to last year, I would hope, at least in terms of the first half of the race being green the whole way. So pitting under green, same as last year, will be very important, and getting the job done in the pits, and just keeping track position as the green flag continues, and just trying to keep it there and play the strategy in the best
Coverage
way
of the 2020
possible.
Open Wheels.
If a yellow was to come out, so I need to be ready for everything in these kind of races. So yeah, as we did last year, we played the strategy quite well, and it ended up being a good result in the end. So that was good.
Well, Michele, really thanks again for coming back and not only participating in the 2020 Open Wheels 500, but congratulations on taking the pole award. It's certainly a stout field of contenders, and the speeds at which we saw today were as high as they've ever been. Really a job well done, and if you have anybody to give a shout out to, sponsors, folks that have helped you, your team, feel free to do that now.
Well, obviously, thank you to everyone at i5G who have worked in the setup mostly before May, and since the car has not changed, we brought this basically same setup here in November, which worked quite well. All the guys at Apex as well, who have been helping me quite a lot on the roadside of things on iRacing, and thanks to you as well, Tanner, for putting this up for this great event. And I'm very much looking forward for Sunday to have another great race like last year.
All right, folks, that's Michele Costantini, driver of the number 66 machine for Apex Racing Team with i5G and Broken Arrow. Congratulations, Michele, once again, and we'll be talking to you again this week.
All right, see you.
All right, that was Michele Costantini. Now we're going to bring in our second place man in qualifying today. Hard to imagine yet another runner-up finish in qualifying today, but Wilson Neto fast once again in Open Wheels 500 qualifying. You're provisionally second in your number 80 machine. Congratulations on yet another strong run on pole day, Wilson.
Hey, Tanner. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Yeah, was not my best run. I'm pretty sure I could have done a pretty much better time, but in the end, I think that the picture is fine. 1 month ago, I didn't have any expectation to be among the top 33 because our car from A was way off pace. When you invited me last month, I really mean that what I told to you, that was probably was not going to be here. But yeah, someday I decided to start working again and rebuild my car and with a complete different concept. And I started finding some pace step by step, and I was hitting. My target was to build a car to at least be able to do the same time that Yang Yo was able to put in May. And on a fresh track, my car is able to do that. However, the car is a time bomb. You know, it's very complicated to do a perfect run. So I think that on a fresh track, I could manage like a 38 to 870 or close to that. And on the conditions that we had with Hubbard, I think that I could have hit at least a 38 885. But I did a very good first lap, and then on the second lap, I was way too deep in turn one with in-car adjustments. I almost lost my car. The car slid a little bit. That overhit my tire, and basically, I think that was cost me this 15 1,000ths of second per lap into the end. Because when you lose the momentum, even on the second lap, you compromise you sacrifice all the entire run. So, but I'm happy with the second, the P2 again, and I think that was I didn't decide to not take my chances the same way as I did last year when I took my chance and went to do a new run. So I think that's fine, and I'm happy to be here because again, 1 month ago I didn't have any expectation to be here.
Yeah, we're talking right now to Wilson Neto, driver of the number 80 machine for Interlagos Motorsport, back at the Open Wheels 500 again this year, and looking at another front row start at the Open Wheels 500. Wilson, like you said, it wasn't that long ago that we talked, and it seemed very bleak, your outlook on this year's race, and now here you are. You've obviously put a ton of work in to get to this point, and that's admirable in itself. But one thing that I observed throughout the week, and I thought it actually showed a little bit of quiet confidence. Was most of your time spent in the public sessions this year, in the practice sessions leading up to qualifications weekend, you were doing a lot of race pace practice, and that was a little bit different from what you did last year. Obviously, you logged more laps than anybody in practice last year, and we've noted that on Open Wheels TV. But I noticed you working on race pace throughout this week, and that gave me a little bit of an indication that you may have felt good about your qualifying car. How's the race car looking, and how do you guys make sure that you've got a better result on race day this year than you did in 2019?
Yeah, you're completely right, Tanner. Your feeling is completely right. I was pretty confident with my qualify car, like since from 10 days ago or so. So that's why it was not necessary to put that much training on the public, and I decided just to focus on my race car. So I think that in May we already had a much better car than we have in Open Wheels 500 from last year. Our car last year was a very trimmed car, but that was a decision that myself and Marco. It was a risk that we decided to take. It was a good car to be up front. As you can remember, we kept leapfrogging like for in front for 50 or 60 laps. I don't remember exactly. It was a good car to save fuel on the traffic. So it was not a good car to grow up in the field because we had a very struggle on the traffic, but it was a very good car to save fuel. And that was I was trying to do by the end of that race. Unfortunately, my car got spun. I spun. Another car hit me and spun. Lost 30 seconds, and the yellow flag never came out. So I was way behind. Almost took a lap from Michele Costantini. And I think that from this year, we decide. I think that we will probably use a car with more downforce to be able to sustain up front, and we'll see. We'll have all this week long to do the official races and to test our car. But I think that if we decide to use a car with more downforce, I think that we'll be in a better shape than we were last year.
Talking right now to Wilson Neto, driving the number 80 car for Interlagos Motorsport. He does still own the one-lap record here at the Open Wheels 500 in qualifying, a best lap today of 231.678 miles per hour. Wilson, congratulations on another great day of qualifying at pole day, and we're looking forward to seeing you again on race day here in 2020. It's a pleasure to have you back.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, folks, that's Wilson Neto, again, driving the number 80 machine for Interlagos Motorsport. We're going to go ahead and move Wilson out and move in our third-place qualifier provisionally into the studio right now, and it's Christopher Demeritt, driver the number 144 machine for Broken Arrow with I5G and Apex Racing Team. Christopher, welcome to the end of the day on pole day. It's been a long day for all of us, but when everything's sorted out, you were third fastest, and really talk us through your run that put you provisionally on the front row. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so I started off. That was the draw 2 days ago, with a pretty late draw. I joked at the beginning of the draw that I was hoping to get last place for the draw. I got third to last, so I was pretty close. Honestly, as you were getting to the last ones, I was really hoping I was right because that would have been really funny.
We almost nailed it.
Yeah, almost. I was disappointed when my name was called because there were only 3 people left. So, but no. So anyway, I was probably gonna go again in session 3, and then I just decided to do it in my scheduled run in session 2 late, even though there was a bunch of rubber down. And I mean, I did my run; it was fine. Put it, I think, P3 at the time or P2 at the time because Michele skipped, so I was P2 at the time. And I mean, I really thought I could go 400s faster based on my testing, but I guess I was slightly off in my testing because I basically went the same speed on the second run. I did that first lap on the second run, and I saw the time, and it was it was a little bit faster, but it was like 100th faster. And at that point, I realized that I wasn't gonna gain any places, and I just needed to bring it home. I guess fortunately, I was in kind of a bubble by myself, so I knew if I had what I would consider a bad run, as long as I didn't wreck the car, I'd be the same spot. So kind of uneventful in a way, but in a good way, in a very good way. It was uneventful.
Yeah, and we've heard so many drivers, not only this week, but just in the build-up to this year's second Open Wheels 500, talk about how stressful it can be to try to qualify for this race. Really, to put in a day like yours is quite the veteran effort to avoid that stress and put things to bed, so to speak, on Saturday. Now you've got a full 8 days until race day where you can prepare your race car and try to be in the best position you can come on the 15th.
I was definitely comfortable this weekend. I really didn't have that much to gain for going the second time, except I thought I could get maybe get second or pole, maybe if I had a good run. That was honestly it. I was just comfortable that I wasn't gonna screw up that bigly and make any huge mistakes. But yeah, now that today's over, I can relax for tomorrow and start getting the race set tweaked on.
I think the next guy that we talked to, Matt Pawelski, I don't think he was quite as comfortable at the end of the day there. But for you guys preparing for the race itself, what's this next week going to look like, and how do you guys ensure that you're contenders at the end of the day next Sunday?
Yeah, we're gonna do a bunch of testing like we usually do, just trying to figure out what the car feels like in traffic mostly. Just to kind of tune that, because that's one of the most important parts of this race, really. You know, you can make a set that's flying if you're in clean air, but as soon as you get to someone, you fall back. You know, you're really not gonna win the race unless all of the stars align for you. So we're just giving ourselves the best chance with that testing.
Well put. Again, a veteran at hand. Christopher Demeritt, driver the number 144 machine for Broken Arrow with I5G and Apex Racing Team. Thanks again, Chris, for not only joining us this evening. Now you can go eat and drink a little bit, but for being part of this year's Open Wheels 500. Congratulations on a great day, provisionally on the front row. Looking forward to seeing you race again next weekend.
Yeah, thanks for organizing all this. It's going great, and I love it.
Awesome. That's Christopher Demeritt, everybody. Big thanks to him joining us on the program this evening. And now our last man of the hour, it's Matt Pawelski, driver of the number 75 machine for that Apex Racing Team I5G Broken Arrow Trio. Matt, what an afternoon it was for you. I think I'm most excited to talk to you because in a day where we certainly had twists and turns and high speeds, perhaps no story was more interesting in the final hour than yours as you went out there on your final run of the day and the final run of the weekend, eventually put it provisionally 7th place overall. Just talk us through the afternoon you had and the decision to burn that last run of the day today, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, of course, qualified in Group 2, and that started off really well with that run, but coming in through Turn 4, Lap 4, and a little bit in Turn 3, it started stepping out on me on that run. And I had to lift in Turn 4, so I knew that there was much more in it, and so I'm sitting 14th, and I'm looking at how Brendan and Chris and Michele are all that far up. We kind of collectively decided that there wasn't any reason not to go for it. Of course, like you always know that you can crash on your run, which is of course what happened. So got out of that run. It was just kind of a bit of a spur of the moment decision. I mean, at the end of the day, I knew the car was fast. I knew. At the end of the day, I'd rather have not made the race and start in the back. We'll just put it that way. And the car was fast enough. I could just get that run in. I'd rather start 7th and start 20th after bump day. So it really just came down to, I have this last run regardless, and I can either use it today and try to get it far enough up in the field, or I could use it tomorrow and start 25th. So, I hadn't even really been planning to make that second run at all. So it just kind of forced my hand as soon as that happened. But I guess that's just how qualifying goes.
Yeah, and qualifying, it's an interesting, fickle beast at Indy. What were the nerves like? You're obviously a veteran in the community, but even the most experienced drivers have said this kind of qualifying with the finite amount of runs And even as you know you're on a heater run, that kind of suspense and stress builds while you're in the car. What was that like, and how did you manage that this afternoon?
I mean, yeah, the nerves never really go away, and for as much as I've been doing this car, I really only came back after what was basically 4 years away last year after college finished. So even though I just started grad school, I'm back and doing IndyCar again. But I mean, even after all those years, the nerves never go away. And during the run, we had this like saying in I5G where it's just you just gotta breathe in the straightaways, like nice, just deep breaths. And it sounds really like cliche, but I mean, ultimately it works because you're not focusing on okay, what's this next corner? Because you're gonna get there when you get there, and we all know that we can do it. We can drive these cars successfully. We've all done it in the past. So I mean, the nerves were just like, they never go away, and it's just kind of up to you to like make sure you're just focused enough to get through that next corner and not mess that car up.
Right now, talking to Matt Pawelski, provisionally 7th on the grid to this point after pole day qualifications. He's the driver of the Setup Sam's for Series I5G YouTube channel Honda for Broken Arrow with I5G and Apex Racing Team. Matt, now that you're in the show, it's great to see what you did today, but how do you guys ensure success next weekend?
I think it's going to come down to a lot of preparation and communication. I mean, of course, most of us are starting up front. I know AJ is going to be. I think AJ's safe, but he'll have to work his way up through the field. And so I think a lot of it really is going to come down to we know our race set's good, and so how do we at least assure that we're there on lap 200? Because you saw in May, more than half our team ended up crashing out of the race. So it's really going to be a lot about, we got to be honest. Like, what do we want to do? What do we want to accomplish? Where do we want to be to put ourselves into the best situation to win?
Awesome. Well, that's Matt Pawelski, everybody. Big round of a hand to him. Again, an inspiring run this afternoon. We really enjoyed watching that. Very entertaining. And happy to have you back for the 2020 Open Wheels 500, man. Any sponsors or anybody you'd like to shout out before you head out?
I got to shout out Chris and Brandon and everybody at I5G. The setup clearly is great. I'm incredibly excited to get, hopefully starting P7 next week provisionally. And I'm incredibly excited to get in that car next weekend because now this year I'm starting far enough up where I think I have a chance at a good run as opposed to last year. I was part of the last row. So really got to thank them. And also thank you. This is a great event. As you can see, it's got a lot of support and it was incredibly intense today. So thanks for putting it up.
Awesome. Well, no problem. Happy to do it, man, and happy to have you back at this year's race. Best of luck throughout race week, and we'll see you again at least next Sunday.
All right, thank you.
All right, everybody. That was Matt Pawelski, driver of the number 75 machine for Broken Arrow with I5G and Apex Racing Team. That kind of rounds out our pole day press conference. Talked to our top 3 drivers thus far in qualifications, plus Matt Pawelski. What a run he had. It was all or nothing right there at the very end, and he came through 7th place overall on a day that we saw the track record change hands so many times. Drama up and down the leaderboard. Young O isn't even on the top 33 leaderboard at the moment. Just a remarkable day, and I don't know how we're going to top it tomorrow, but I have a feeling that somehow we will. That's just the magic of Indianapolis. Have a lot of big-name drivers that still need to work their way inside the top 33 to have a shot at racing next Sunday, November the 15th. Well, again, we'll be back right here on Open Wheels TV in the morning, live at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with Bump Day qualifications. That'll begin at 6 a.m. Eastern Time right here on Open Wheels TV. We'll take you all the way up to the Race Spot TV coverage beginning at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and that'll take you to the end of Bump Day qualifying. At the end of the day tomorrow, we'll know that field of 33 drivers. Until then, thank you to everybody who tuned in to today's broadcast. Thank you to ABC, Faye Costantini, and Circle City Music for allowing us the opportunity to play the IndyCar on ABC theme throughout the Open Wheels 500 this year. I'm Tanner Watkins signing off until tomorrow morning from Indy.